Right. Good morning, everyone. I am back with another video. This one is a building tutorial. Um, I was asked about, since I made that video on MSUs with David, I was asked how would that build actually look. So today I'm going to build one of those MSU lists for you guys. I will also, in these coming days, be doing a few more videos. I have a few planned. I have one planned that's going to be a video on cavalry tactics. And I have also planned to have a joint session with Johnny Curran to end off my Aldershot coverage. So that is more or less what's going to happen on the channel these coming days. But today I'm going to do the build of an MSU army. So let me just share my screen with you guys. Right. So, as we talked about when going MSU, there are different nations that you can try and do this with. The easiest one to show you, the one I'm mostly familiar with, is the Soviet Union. So I'm going to do that one, but you could do the US, or you could do France. You could even do Germans. There are several possible nations to do this with. Soviet Union is just so easy and so readily available. So let's do that. So here we go to the Soviet Union page. Now, again, we have all these theaters. We don't need those. The one we really need is Soviet reinforced. Now, here we have a Soviet reinforced platoon. You can see all the regular stuff. We know it's all there. But the thing that really makes for a really good MSU list is when you have double platoons. So I am going to press here, which allows me to take one more platoon, which will be another Soviet reinforced platoon. So all of a sudden now I have two platoons, right? That's how you build two platoons in Easy Army. So now, if you're going to go MSU, you're going to go and buy a lot of cheap stuff. So we're going to try and do that. We're going to go the cheapest we can get for our lieutenants. So inexperienced. Oh, I am not doing this. I accidentally made them first lieutenants. I'm not going to clear. I'm going to clear that. I'll go back. We're going to go junior, inexperienced second junior lieutenant, 35 points. That is what we want. We want the same for our second platoon, junior lieutenant, inexperienced. There we go. Now we also want some dirt cheap infantry. The cheapest thing you can do is the Strafbat units. So let's go and look at those. We have NCO, 4 men, 35 points, exactly the same as we pay for our officer. We're going to do that, but we're also going to make them even more cheap, even cheaper. We're going to make them shirkers. So a further reduction of 3 points per man. And we're going to buy 2 of these Strafbat units. Now, these are not good units at all. They have rifles, they can shoot, but you shouldn't expect them to do anything. Shirkers means that they take double the amount of pin. No, sorry. Yeah, they do. They take double the amount of pins, and they have to be given an order test every time they do something. So they're not going to do a lot, especially if they are pinned down. But this will mean that for 75 points, we have 3 units in our second platoon. We're going to do exactly the same in our first platoon. Strafbat, here we go. Cheapest one available. So you can actually buy extra unarmed men if you want to. We're just going with the cheapest possible ones because the unarmed men, although they're very cheap, they do cost something. So we're not going to do that. Can get them for a reduction of 3 points per man, so that's not a lot of points actually. We might do that at some point. That's another build. That's when you're running like large size units of Strafbat Shirkers, and then run them full strength. The trick there is that because you're running them full strength, you get to re-roll their order dice test. So even though you have to roll each time, you roll twice. So that's pretty good. Right. We also need the free rifle squad. Why? Because we can get it. And I don't know why you actually have this, because no one would take it as a 5-man unit, right? You get the full 12. And of course you get the Molotov cocktails. There we go. Right. Now we're still putting cheap options for order dice into these units, right? So right now we have 2 platoons of 75 points each. The cheapest options for extra order dice comes in the form of dog teams. These are both very, very good and very, very cheap. So 26 points for an inexperienced dog team. That is what we want, because the dogs, they always hit on a 4+. They don't care that they're inexperienced, so let's just buy them dirt cheap. And because we can, we buy extras. So we're buying 2, we're buying 3 dog teams in our first platoon. Also, this will mean that we have a lot of anti-tank options, because the bomb dogs are really good anti-tank options. Good. Now, that is 4 dog teams. I don't want any further. I want anti-tank hunter teams, because these can be pushed up and can forward deploy. So I want them to be small teams, veteran, 36 points. That is very cheap. And I want them to have some machine guns, and I want 1 soldier to have a Panzerfaust. Small teams, very, very good. We'll do that twice, so we have 2 of them. This will mean that we're starting to win the forward deployment game as well, where we have so much forward deployment that we can sort of push enemy snipers and what have you, nastiness, away from the center table. And that Panzerfaust lurking in the center table will also mean that the enemy armor will stay away. So, and we've only spent 348 points. Right. We also need some flamethrowers, don't we? Flamethrowers are always cool. So buy 1 of those, and a second one for our second platoon. Now, the best flamethrowers are all in transports. So let's stick them in a gas jeep. Again, going dirt cheap because we're saving up points. Gas jeep. Inexperienced. Right. So that was good. Let's get some more very cheap infantry. Again, we're buying these Strafbats. We're making them as cheap as possible because we want the extra order dice. That is the only purpose here. These Strafbat units are not going to be usable for anything much. They might actually sit in the back of a truck, keeping it alive, or they might, if you're very lucky, sit on objectives. If you're very, very lucky, you can even get them to move up to an objective. Right. Now we need extra firepower, and we're going to get that from medium mortars, inexperienced, because that is, again, very, very cheap. And we're going to do that in both platoons. Cheap as they come. Oh, I accidentally, that was me. I was moving too quickly. I wanted to do inexperienced, not regular here. Right. Ooh, this looks good. We have so many units already. Now we're buying something that actually has teeth, and I want to have at least. You could go the way of the Katusha. That is pretty good. You could go the way of the Tokarev. That is also pretty good. For me, the Stuart Light Tank is where the money is at, and you could even go inexperienced. I've seen this done, but I don't think it's that good. But you need all the upgrades. You need Recce, because that will mean that anything threatening, you can just go back behind cover. And you need the hull-mounted... oh, that's a flamethrower. Sorry, where are my LMGs? This is not what I want, is it? Clear. It's the other Stuart one. I want the LMGs, not the flamethrower in the hull. M3 Stuart. Yes. Regular. Recce. You don't want to add the pintle-mounted MMG. It just means that you're going to pop the top. You could do it, but I'm going to save points. Buying the LMGs in the hull is a better investment here. And we're going to buy one of these for both our platoons. That will give us a lot of teeth for our money here. Right. It also means that we're almost at 900 points right now. So we're going to need something cheap for the rest of it. But we still need a few more teethy units, don't we? Let's see what we can get. I think artillery might be a good idea here. Light howitzers, 40 points inexperienced, because they're going to sit back, preferably behind cover, and shoot indirectly. So that might be a way to go. Yeah. Right. So right now we have a lot of bodies in infantry. We have a lot of indirect shots in the mortars and the howitzers. We have a lot of anti-tank options, and we have a lot of machine guns in our two Stuarts. We even have two flamethrowers that we can throw up in gas jeeps. And I still have a few points left over, which I'm going to spend on another Strafbat unit. Just to boost my Strafbats. I couldn't find them. Just to boost the amount of order dice I have in the bag. We still have 7 points, which means let's buy an extra man for one of the lieutenants. Go. 999 points, and look at this view. 27 order dice at 1,000 points. This is order dice spam. You could go way lower than this, but 27 order dice, that is what I have. Yes, most of it will suffer in kill point missions, but all MSU units will suffer in kill points missions. But I am going to absolutely control what will happen in the dice bag. I will typically get the first order dice, and I will typically get the last order dice, meaning that I can sort of the enemy armor is going to suffer heavily. I don't have units that can really push, which can be one weakness here, but I have so much that is actual infantry. The dog teams, if I can keep them alive after they've fired their dogs, they can move on to objectives. They're just as good as other infantry. I can take objectives with the dog teams. The howitzers can sit in my own deployment zone. I can even use my my inexperienced Strafbat units as a human shield in front of the howitzer, meaning that they can sit there. I'm just firing indirectly, and the enemy will have, I will have cover from my own unit. If someone shoots at the Strafbats, they'll go down. If they die, well, it's 20 points. The gas jeeps, they now, with the flamethrowers, they now have the order dice to control the board and to get 2 order dice in a row, because that is now very, very, very likely, especially late in a turn. So I can throw them up the way you want to throw up the flamethrowers. The stewards will also have exactly the dice when they want them to kill enemy units. So if I was running this, I would not be. I would build this a little bit differently, but you can see the whole point, right? Everything here is as cheap and small as I can make it, and it still has quite a lot of teeth. The 2 anti-tank hunter teams with SMGs, I think they're really key. They can go down in forward positions, and they can sort of start hunting enemy snipers. Yeah, this is a terror of a list. If it was me running it, I would exchange a lot of these points for something more beefy in the infantry section. I like a few beefy units, at least. But this is how you build an MSU list, a true horde order dice spam list. Is it fun to play? Maybe not, I don't know. Is it fun to play against? Well, it's terribly difficult to play against. But it is very, very competitive, and that maybe is the whole point of this exercise. That was what I wanted to show you, what you can do with MSU when you're really building it to win games, basically. So yeah, that was myself building an MSU list, a horde army. So I hope you're doing well, and enjoy the day. I will see you in the next video. Cheers and bye.